Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Politics Podcast, and thanks for joining me. I just wanted to do this special episode in memory of the great American influencer of so many young people in America and the world, so many conservative young people, Charlie Kirk. And if you didn't know who Charlie Kirk was or hadn't heard of him, you certainly have now, because the whole week gone by has been wall-to-wall Charlie Kirk. Some good and some very bad. And I just wanted to do this episode because I'm mindful that many of you who follow me and subscribe to this channel and watch this channel do so because you're not on X and you're relying on me to bring you most of the news and the things that happen on X to you. So like I said, you would have heard of Charlie Kirk because since his brutal murder, he has been in the news constantly. But I had seen on Sky News, BBC, RTE, a lot of nonsense that led up to the murder of Charlie Kirk is still going on in the media. Nonsense like he was a far-right bigot, hater, racist, which is all absolute nonsense. And I do believe his wife and his organization, Turning Point USA, are compiling a defamation case against all of these media outlets who have defamed the good name of a very, very good man since his death. And his death was absolutely brutal. I wouldn't show you the video on this podcast. I just wouldn't, but it was absolutely horrific. Gunned down by Tyler Robinson, a young student himself, 22 years old, who by all accounts had a very, very normal upbringing. Two parents who were there bringing him up, no left-wing ideology whatsoever. Only when he joined university, his family say that his whole thinking changed. He became very, very radicalized, and a lot of hate directed at Charlie Kirk, by all accounts, at family dinners and things. So this guy was radicalized by the very people and lies that are going on still since Charlie Kirk's death about him. You hear words racist, bigot, Nazi, far-right. I mean, absolutely, they just cannot stop. They just cannot stop. It has now led to an assassination of a very, very good man who did nothing wrong, only want to debate. All Charlie Kirk's idea was to go around university campuses and debate these left-wing students who seem to get radicalized, many of them, when they start third-level college. And we are not immune from it here in Ireland. As we all know, we are not immune from college politics, which radicalizes students into nonsense, utter nonsense. And they are so in the nonsense bubble that they can't seem to get out of it when they leave college, because we see the same in politics. They're supposedly grown adults, and grown adults in politics in Ireland, in America, in the UK, and many other places still utter the words fascist, Nazi, racist. It's crazy. When are ye going to grow up and join the world of adults? No one is interested in this nonsense. You all live in some sort of deranged bubble. And the deranged bubble has now led to Charlie Kirk's assassination. As I said, he had a brilliant idea. He set up a group or an organization called Turning Point USA. I think he set it up in 2017, and he's been doing fantastic work since. He became friends with the president of the United States. He became friends with many people in politics, with the vice president of the United States, J.D. Vance. Charlie Kirk became a big name. But he always said that if you don't talk to these people, if you don't communicate, it will lead to violence. And that's the very reason why he put himself in the firing line, literally by going to these universities. But we have just found out that with the leftist agenda and the globalist agenda, that when you give an inch, they will take a mile. And in this case, the conservative movement gave an inch and they took Charlie Kirk's life. They have left his 2 children and his beautiful young wife without a husband and without a father. And I wanted to do this episode because, as I said, I'm mindful that many of you are not on X, so all you would have seen of Charlie Kirk, you probably would never have come across him before, like us in the circle, that we have come across him before and we have heard his debates and listened to his stuff. But you at home have not, probably. You've only heard that an American conservative was assassinated last week at a university in America, and you would have read the stories about him and you would have heard the lies that they keep spinning about him. So I just wanted to give you a little flavor here of who he was and of the things that you will see if you actually put down the mainstream media, put down the remote control and zone off and go into YouTube and just type up Charlie Kirk debates on college campuses, or look up Surrounded, Charlie Kirk Surrounded. And that was a very, very good video that he used to put out. He would go into a room surrounded, totally surrounded. He'd be in the middle with a stop clock. I think it was 3 minutes each. And he gave these very, very liberal students 3 minutes of his time to prove him wrong. That was his motto, prove me wrong. And everything I have seen, he has never been proven wrong. So the first thing I will let you hear is, we get it here in Ireland a lot, our politicians. What is a woman? What is a woman? This gender ideology where they cannot simply answer anymore as to what is a woman. And this is just a little flavor of the mentality of these leftists, liberals. They just cannot see sense. And this Charlie wasn't full of hate. Charlie tried to just debate them and make them see sense. So I'll give you a little clip here now of a liberal student. Listen for yourself. Unbelievable.
Why can you not respect the existence of trans people?
If you mean lying, I won't lie. But every human being is made in the image of God, and so they deserve human rights.
It's lying to... I'm confused. What...
It is a lie to call somebody
By
a sex...
that they prefer.
To call them a pronoun that is not rooted in reality. Let me ask you, can anyone become a woman?
It doesn't have anything to do with me, so yes.
Okay, if a biological man came next to you in your dormitory or locker room, would you be okay with that?
If they came next to me,
and started
sure.
changing next to you?
Sure. What does that have to do with me?
A naked man comes next to you in the locker room and just starts saying, hey, how you doing? You have no issue with that.
If it was someone that identified as a woman and they weren't hostile towards me, no, I wouldn't mind.
Okay, so there is a mental delusion out there where people think that they are 12 years old. Should we affirm that?
No.
Okay, so then if we don't affirm that mental delusion, why should we affirm the mental delusion where men who think they are women or women who think they are men?
Because there's a power, like, problem with age.
And there's no power problem between men becoming women? Or going into locker rooms or winning female trophies or winning female sports?
There can be, but it's all about people being comfortable and being respectful.
You see, this is where we have a difference. So you look at the world through trying to accommodate the comfort of the oppressed. We look at the world through right and wrong, moral and immoral, and just and unjust. We don't care about making people comfortable. We care about what is right. We care about the protection of women.
So there, yeah, he just says he can't get through to that girl. And that's the mentality we have here still in Ireland. The other day I saw a video, Sinn Féin, a classic example, Michelle O'Neill, was asked in Stormont, what is a woman? It's very, very simple. And she couldn't answer. She told the man who asked her to stop being so divisive. This is where we are at. And this is where that deranged thinking has led. Tyler Robinson, his assassin, Charlie's assassin, couldn't handle common sense, truth, what is right, what is wrong. We have to protect women, we have to protect girls. And Michelle O'Neill and Sinn Féin, and I'm not just picking on Sinn Féin once again, all of them, all our political parties here in Ireland are trumping this gender ideology. They won't answer what a woman is. Charlie knew what a woman is. I know what a woman is. Every rational, sane person on the planet knows what a woman is, except these people who, like I said, are living in some sort of deranged left-wing bubble, who they either think they actually are that deluded that they think they are in the right. That even when they leave college and college politics behind and they become adults, grown adults, and they are elected into political life, they are still living in the college days bubble. So that is Charlie, and Charlie was called every name under the sun. He is called racist all the time because he mentioned immigration. He tried to get through to people, Black Americans at college campuses. I've seen many, many videos of him. And to be fair, he did get through to many people. I'll give you an example again. This is a girl who, unbelievable, talking about the role model for the African American students. Who would be a good role model? A rap artist or a Supreme Court judge? Clarence Thomas. So I will let you hear their interaction. And once again, listen to Charlie, listen to how respectful he is to these people. Many of us wouldn't be so patient as Charlie, but Charlie was patient until the very end, and he gave his time against a backlash, against name-calling, against a lot of hate. But I'll let you listen to this interaction about who would be a good role model for Black youth of America.
Let's say there's a black kid right now. Would you rather have that black kid have a role model be Kendrick Lamar or Clarence Thomas?
Kendrick, obviously.
So not the black American on the United States Supreme Court.
No, he's trying to ban interracial marriage. He's trying to do all.
Wow, no, he's in an interracial marriage.
He literally
He's married to a white woman.
Yeah, I know, the Roe v. Wade thing goes against.
He's trying to ban his own marriage?
Yes.
I thought I've heard
I'm sorry
everything.
to break it to you, but the Roe
Wait, hold
v.
on.
Wade.
So just to be clear, and that's fine. This is the difference in worldview. We have clarity but not agreement. You'd rather have Kendrick Lamar, who sleeps around with everything that moves.
Who is a poet who won a Nobel Prize, who...
Right, no, versus Clarence Thomas, who grew up in the antebellum South, who's a U.S. Supreme Court justice, one of the smartest people ever to serve on the Supreme Court as a black American. And that's the difference, is that we as conservatives think that Clarence Thomas is a far better role model for black America than just some rapper.
Yeah. So there you go. And that is the thinking of a lot of the young people. They're just not thinking. She says he was a Lamar is a Nobel Prize winner. He is not. This is how they are. They don't even listen to sense anymore. They don't even listen to fact. And by the way, Charlie Kirk, everyone is saying that Charlie Kirk got murdered for his opinion on transgender ideology, for his opinion on immigration and all these issues. No, this is very, very an important point. Charlie Kirk did not get murdered for his opinion. Charlie Kirk got murdered, executed, for stating objective fact. He only stated objective facts that could be proven, as in what is a woman. And that is why he was murdered. And that is very, very important, and that should send alarm bells ringing in every single head. We are dealing with a group of people who think it is acceptable and even celebrated, acceptable to murder people who are just stating fact. This is a thing that would be unheard of 15, 20 years ago. There is a terrorist state of mind, and there are many of them, who think it's acceptable to murder in the middle of the day with one shot in front of a man's wife and children and parents and 6,000 young students because he stated fact. So Charlie loved life. Deep down, he must have known this is the way he's going to go because he hired security. He knew very well the trouble that would be brought to his door, and he still did it. He still did it. He looked at it as his mission. And Turning Point USA, there is a Turning Point UK. I have no doubt that Turning Point organization is going to expand rapidly now. His wife made a statement the other night. She said, if you think by killing Charlie that his message would die, you are wrong. You are wrong because they have just created 1 million Charlies. She is going to continue his work with Turning Point USA. That's exactly what they've done. And what they have done is woken a load of people up who would consider themselves probably left-wing, probably not into politics as I and many others in our movement are. So they probably just don't pay any attention whatsoever to these influencers and the talk that goes on. But they probably, in passing, have heard the name Charlie Kirk or any of these, they call them right-wing commentators. And the poor people who are considered themselves left-wing would believe that there's racism and xenophobia and all this transphobes and everything. They would believe that until Charlie Kirk was shot last week. Because they have been forced to think. Forced to stop and think. Someone has died now. A young man who did nothing wrong. He didn't incite violence. He never uttered hate speech. All he did was call for debate because he said, the minute you stop talking, violence happens. Well, that's the only time Charlie Kirk has been proved wrong because he kept talking and violence happened. So then talking is off the table. Communication is off the table now. We are dealing with demonic, demented people. Their time for talk is over now. Charlie's gone. There is only 2 choices to make now. You're either with Charlie's point of view or you're with the ideology that shot him in cold blood. You are either on the right path or the wrong path. There is no left-right politics. It's either right or wrong now. And only you can decide that yourselves. And I suggest you look up, like I said, Charlie Kirk stuff. He was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant role model. If you have sons, a brilliant role model for young men. A brilliant, I'll play you something now. Play it to your boys. Here we go. Very, 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 when you hear this, it's the total opposite of what you'd hear in Ireland anyway, on mainstream media. Well, here we go.
Young men, you need to have a destination in your life. If you are on a date and a young lady says, well, what do you do? And you're like, it's a kind of meander. And I go on DraftKings and I own crypto and I don't know. And loser, instead it should be, I'm studying this because of this. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to work for this person. I want to be able to make this much money by this period of time to provide for a family. And I don't care how hard it gets, but I'll provide for you and provide for the kids. And I'll be the protector and the covering over the family. Follow me because I'm going to lead us. That's what they want to hear. They want the confidence and the security that when life gets difficult and when life starts falling apart, that man will lead them towards security and stability. Because deep down, women have a very well-built and finely tuned, God-given instinct that they'll be able to tell in a man when the bullets start firing, is this guy going to protect me and protect my kids? And is he going to provide, or is he going to run for the hills? Go look to your grandfather's generation that stormed Normandy Beach, that built this nation, that started big businesses, that went on adventure. If the most important thing for you is just feeling good, you're going to end up miserable. But if the most important thing is doing good, you will end up purposeful.
So yeah, giving young men a direction. Giving them a direction to have a purpose in life. And nothing greater in Charlie Kirk's life than his wife and children. And he was a great, great messenger of family life and of being a good husband. And making the right choices for the young boys. And that's what's missing today. They talk about toxic masculinity. No. What young men are searching for is a purpose and a direction, as Charlie said. So your young boys should be watching Charlie Kirk and figuring all these things out for themselves. And it's very, very sad that these deranged people, this deranged ideology, has taken a brilliant, brilliant husband and father away from two beautiful children. I'll play a piece now of Charlie telling his young daughter the story of how he met Mummy. Listen, it's absolutely fantastic.
Story time. So we're here at Bill's Burgers in New York City. And right near this very table was the first time Dada met Mama. And it started as a job interview. And I was asking all these questions. Philosophy, religion, Jesus. And then I realized Mama was beautiful and smart and elegant and Christ-like. And so I said, forget this job interview. I want to date you. And I said, I have enough friends. And that's where your journey started.
Telling his daughter that's where her journey began. So, I mean, he was just absolutely lovely. There is nothing hateful or outrageous about Charlie Kirk. You control the internet yourself, but I just wanted to give you guys a little flavor because you won't read it in mainstream media or see it on the news. They're continuing the line of hateful rhetoric that got him killed, and they just never learn and they just can't stop. He wasn't afraid to speak to anybody. He went on a show, a podcast of young women who have taken it upon themselves to get involved with OnlyFans, which is a pornography. They're going down that route. But I give that much to them. They did invite Charlie Kirk on and they were respectful to him and he was very respectful to them. And I'll just let you hear what he told them about the joy of family life. And I would say he planted a seed in these girls' heads because I've seen a lot on Twitter. They have reposted now a lot of his stuff. So let's listen to him.
And I can tell you I'm super blessed. I have the best wife in the world. We have an amazing life. Building a family is the coolest thing ever. And my prayer for all of you is that you one day can do that.
That's so cute.
It's honestly the most joyful thing. And I've had some pretty amazing experiences. I've been very, very blessed. Very lucky, you could say, but very blessed is the word I would use. And the greatest joy I've ever had is coming home to my little daughter running up to my leg. There's nothing that even comes close to it. Not flying on Air Force One, not meeting with presidents. That pales in comparison to your little girl coming up and squeezing your leg.
Oh.
There you go. So he did so much and he said nothing. Nothing compares to family life, your children and your wife. And that is a fantastic message for today's world, where the leftist ideology and feminism tells them the opposite. So I hope them girls listen and, you never know, they might change their lives as well. And Charlie's message won't die with him. In fact, everybody's talking about him. And I see a lot of people who, like I said, would have been on that side of politics without realizing and without thinking fully. And now they are starting to think. They are starting to realize that everything they've been told has been a pack of lies and built on sand, as they say. So what is shocking, though, I've seen a lot of commentary about people changing their view and saying that they're coming around to our side of thinking, basically. But there has been a lot of deranged commentary since news of his murder broke. A lot of deranged people making videos and celebrating the execution of this man in front of his wife and children and parents and 6,000 young people. I'll give you a flavour of that now. I've seen worse than this. This is very light, by the way, what I'm going to show you. But I believe the FBI are compiling a whole list of them because you have to be wary of these people. There is such a thing as free speech, but you just have to be wary about what goes on in people's minds. I mean, it's in Ireland too. I've seen videos from Irish people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. They absolutely do not know what they're doing. It is deranged. And I think if you are celebrating the death and assassination of a young man who did nothing wrong, then you really need to look in the mirror yourselves. So we are not immune here. What I'm about to show you is a lot of American accounts, but like I said, it's in Ireland too. Celebrating, not knowing what they're talking about, actually. Getting the whole story wrong. As his own assassin got the whole story wrong and went out to kill him. The wrong end of the stick and miscommunication and media lies and political lies have led to this beautiful young man being murdered. So I'm going to let you have a flavor of that now and see what you think. It's outrageous. But I mean, these young people could be sitting at your dinner table. These could be your kids. And you don't know it. You don't know that they would celebrate the murder of somebody because they've listened to a bunch of lies.
Yo, they got Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with Charlie Kirk.
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
I haven't posted on TikTok in a long time, but I'm gonna now because rest in peace, bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier. Praise fucking be.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
Charlie Kirk got shot? That's awful. That's so sad. Hope he recovers well.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk? Dang it. Ah, shucks. Thoughts and prayers.
So there you have, celebrating, delighted, happy that this poor man is gone, that these children have lost their dad, that that beautiful girl has lost her husband, and the parents have lost their son. And the world has lost a fantastic debater, a fantastic guy, and I think he never ever failed to mention God, loved his faith, really, really ran the race well. In fact, there is a piece of him saying what he would love to be remembered for. I'll play that for you now.
How do you want to be remembered?
If I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
Charlie Kirk, thank you so much.
You
for
guys do a
coming on the
great
Ice
job. I
Coffee
wish.
Hour.
He wants to be remembered for courage in his faith, and that is exactly what he will be remembered for. There is no one more courageous who would take it upon themselves to go into college campuses among people that hate you and invite them with respect to talk to you and ask you questions, and you ask them questions. It was a fantastic idea. It has woken millions of people up, and even more so than since his death. Millions and millions of people, and his name will be known forevermore. The name of Charlie Kirk. So when they murdered him, and the investigation is still ongoing with Tyler Robinson, and I believe he's on suicide watch, I read this morning. But when they murdered him, and I say they because it was one shot, one man who pulled the trigger, but it is a culmination of all the lies. The lies have culminated in his murder, in that bullet to his neck. So that's all I wanted to say now. I wanted to bring this special episode. I usually talk about a few subjects, but I just wanted to bring you those few little video clips that I came across on Twitter, on X, that I know that many of you are not on X. And I said, I better tell you guys, because as far as I can see, all you would have seen in mainstream media are lies. deranged, demented lies, and they haven't stopped and they won't stop. So now, as I said, communication is over. In my opinion, communication is over. The days of trying to debate these people is over. Because they don't get it. They don't get debate. Debate doesn't work. Communication doesn't work. They believe every lie under the sun. They tell the lies. They're living in some sort of, I don't know what sort of bubble they're living in, but thank God we don't live in that bubble. So that was Charlie Kirk, or is Charlie Kirk. And I would just like to say thank you to Charlie Kirk. Thank you for your courage, for your insight, for your wisdom. You did more in your 31 years than people who live to 91 do. You have done more, and you, like I said, have ran the race very, very well. And God rest you. And that's it. I'm going to sign off now. Please like and subscribe and share this video. And always, always do your own research. When you read something in the media or hear some sort of lies, don't just take it as it is truth. Please research. You have YouTube. YouTube is fantastic now. You can find anything out on YouTube. Please research. As I said, look up Charlie Kirk debates. Tell people about him. Tell people to research him themselves. The Surrounded videos are absolutely highly recommendable. I love them. Surrounded, Charlie Kirk, surrounded by a bunch of vipers who got him in the end but didn't get his message because his message has just exploded. And they won't get any more chance to debate Charlie Kirk and to hate him and to laugh at him. They had their chance. As I said, we gave an inch and they took Charlie Kirk's life. Thanks a million, guys. I will see you on the next one. I'll be back very, very, very soon, possibly tomorrow, with the latest news from X in Ireland and the world. Thanks, guys, and thank you for everything. See you on the next one.